Hello everyone, today we will start with the topic named timestamp based protocol. As in the last lecture we were talking about the concurrency control and we have studied its two types, two-phase locking protocol and the log based protocol. Now we are going to pursue towards timestamp based protocol. So this model is also used for controlling the concurrency issues which we were facing when we were talking about the transactions. All these concepts are which we are studying is for the concept of making our database consistent. So like, what is timestamp? As the name suggests, timestamp means there is a given time on any of the transaction which is executing, or the transactions with the timestamp with the operations are having a time, and the stamp means we have allotted that transaction a specific time. So timestamp is a unique identifier created by DBMS to identify a transaction. So this is known as the unique identifier because this timestamp is the only in this protocol we are using some timestamp criterion, and it is known as the unique identifier because it uniquely identify all the transactions and will tell us about the which transaction is coming first and which transaction will coming the last. So this is known so it is used to order the transactions based on their timestamps. So we are specifically using timestamp because for the ordering situation. Timestamp based protocols start working soon as a transaction is created. So as soon as a transaction is created in a schedule, so it will get a timestamp. The priority of older transaction is higher, that's why it executes first. As on the basis of timestamp, the transaction which is coming first is considered as the oldest transaction, and the transaction which is coming at the last section is known as the newest transaction. So always in timestamp based protocols we are trying to give the first transaction, or known as the oldest transaction, as the highest priority, and we always try to execute the older transaction first, because when this older transaction will execute first, then there will not be any conflict and our database will remain in consistent state. So this protocol ensures that every conflicting read and write operations are executed in timestamp order. So this protocol actually ensures that when we were talking about some conflicts issues, like in the conflict serializability, so we were talking about like when a read operation is there, like suppose, so there we talked about some properties like when conflict will occurs. So this protocol actually ensures that every conflict read and write operations are executed in timestamp order. Like what we were saying, that these operations are conflict operations, and this will create some conflicts in our schedule. So these conflicts are solved by using this time based protocols. So this protocol uses the system time or logic count as a timestamp. As we are talking about timestamp, so there should be a clock which actually tells us the time on which it starts executing. So this what this clock is, either this clock will be a system time clock or the logic count. It actually depends on the system configurations. So most commonly used concurrency protocol, this timestamp based protocol is the most commonly used concurrency protocol because of the technique of its timestamp. So the timestamp ordering protocol also maintains the timestamp of last read and write operation on a data. So this timestamp ordering actually maintains every last read or and write operation on a data. So suppose if this is the donation, so this is actually the donation which will tell us, this TS will tell us that this is a timestamp based transaction. This TI means transaction, I means and the numbering of that transaction, either 1, 2, 3 or any number of transaction which we were considering in our database system. So like see, we have read TS, RTS. This read TS, this RTS is the short form for this read TS, that is telling us that we are operating read operation on the transaction based on timestamp based protocols. This RTS actually shows the latest or the last transaction on which read successfully. Like see, here we have an example in which we have 3 transactions, that is transaction 1, transaction 2 and the transaction 3. So these all have a operation, read operation, RA. So when I'm saying that this is RTS and this is actually showing me the latest transaction or the last transaction, that means this is my last transaction according to the timestamp, because firstly this will execute, then this will execute, and then this will execute. So this is the last operation, the last read on this schedule S, which has three transactions T1, T2 and T3. So this RA is actually, when we are talking about this RTS will give me the value of this transaction. So this transaction has a value. Suppose I have given three values to them. This has a value of 10, T2 is 20 and T3 is 30. This is nothing but a timestamp based on the system logs or the system time or logic units. Okay, so this is generally the time. So this RTS will give me the value of 30. So suppose RTS A is equal to 30 here. So when I'm saying like the oldest transaction and the newest transaction, suppose we have schedule S and we have T1, T2, T3, three schedules in it. So this is considered as the oldest because it comes first, and this is considered as a newest or the latest because it just came at last. Okay, so there is one read TS and one write TS. This write TS can be denoted as WTS, or this is known as the last or the latest transaction number on which performed write or successful. Like suppose we have three transactions T1, T2, T3, and this 10, 20, 30 is the timestamp value of these three transactions, and there are some operations how these are executing. Firstly this WA will execute, then this WA, then this WA. So this is operating like in this section, in this way. So this WA will give me the value of 20. So this WTS, when I'm trying to write WTS A, then it will give me the value as 20. So last read successful value is RTS and the last successful write value is WTS. Okay, and because I have written A because I am considering the values variable of variable A. Okay, so like see there, there is an example when I'm saying that the oldest transaction or how I'm going to consider about the priority of these transactions. Like see, I have three transactions suppose named as T1, T2 and T3. T1 has entered the system at time 0010. T2 has entered the system at time 0020. T3 has entered the system at time 0030. So this is the oldest transaction or the first transaction which came into the picture when I'm talking about the schedule, and in the schedule this transaction came first. So this T1 has the time has the lowest is the oldest timestamp. So this is considered as a transaction is considered with the highest priority, and this is considered as the least priority. So that means we are firstly going to execute T1 and then T2 and then T3, and when we are trying to execute these three transactions in this specific scenario, then there will not be any conflict, and the conflicts between read and write will get resolved, and at the end we will get our database in consistent state. That is what we are trying to do in all our processes when we were talking about transactions, serializability, recovery schedules, all these concurrency control. All these are trying to maintain our database in consistent state, because we never wanted our database to get collapsed, and we always wanted best out of our database resources. So like see, here we have some rules when we were talking about talking about timestamp based protocol and how we are going to actually solve our questions. So these are some specific rules which can actually help us in solving the questions. Like see, here we have rule number 1 is transaction Ti issues a read A operation when this is my rule for variable A. So if any variable named B, C, D, E, any of the variable will come, this transaction will get modified according to the variable. So like transaction T1 issues a read A operation, then if WTSA is greater than TSTI, then roll back TI. Otherwise execute RA operation set RTS A, max RTS A. So these are the rules which we will learn, or which we will get to understand after solving a problem. So like see, I have an example. So like say I have two transactions in which transaction 1 is T1 and the second transaction is T2, and here I have a read operation and there is a write operation. So I, how this is executing, firstly T1 is executing and then T2 is operating some operations. So this array is the oldest, like this transaction is the oldest transaction because it has a timestamp value of 100 and this has a some value of 200. This can be given in any of the ways, so you just need to identify like which is the oldest and which is the newest. So according to this, which has the lowest value means this is the oldest transaction and this is the youngest transaction. Okay, so this RA and WA, this means this has the priority of oldest transaction. So after executing this operation, we are going to execute the youngest transactions operation. So there is no issue or no conflict arised here. So though when we were talking about conflict serializability, there was a conflict here there because RA has a conflict write A, but when it is occurring in some other transactions, but in the time-based protocols, we are just going to consider that if the transaction is the oldest, then it should get executed first. So this is executing first and then this is the newest transaction is executing last. So there is no issue. And like see, there are T1 and T2 both having a write operation, write A and write A. So when we were talking about conflict serializability, then we were also saying that a write A has a conflict write A, and when this write A is executing some other transactions, but when we are talking about the timestamp based protocols, then this is not an issue. So and now here we are executing our old transaction as the first and the newest transaction as the last, so there will not be any issue. And like the third conflict can be write A and read A. So oldest transaction is executing first and the newest transaction is executing the last, so again there will not be any issue. So the fourth possibility can be a read A, but as we know that read A and read A is not a conflict when we were talking about the operations which are conflict operations and which are not conflict operations. So these three were the possible conflicts which were present there, so we have talked about them according to the solution of time based protocol. Okay, so like then what will be the conflicts? Like see, here we have transaction in schedule S, we have two transactions T1 and T2, and this T1 is oldest transaction and this T2 is the youngest transaction. It has the operation read A and WA. That means firstly RA operation of this young transaction is executing, and then we are going to pursue towards our oldest transaction. So there will be an issue because as we were saying that our newest transaction will not be executed first, as we have always the highest priority of our oldest transaction. So there will be a conflict and our transaction will be rollbacked. So how it can be rollbacked? So like suppose when I was talking about my these rules, like see T1 T1 when I'm say that I'm talking about my T1, so there is a WA. So rule 2, transaction T1 issues write A operation. Okay, so if RTS means the value of last transaction. So suppose I have T1 and T2. For T2 I have value 20. Okay, so this is 20. 20 is greater than timestamp of T1. Timestamp of T1 is 10. 20 is greater than 10. Yes, true. Then roll back my transaction T1. So I'm going to roll back my this transaction T1. Okay, because like see, if I have some value as RA's value as 30. Okay, then this write operation operated some values, like it has done A is equal to A plus 10. So this will become 40. but it has read the value of variable a as 30. So what is this 40 and what is 30? This 30 has no usage because this has the value as 40. So we need to roll back this T1 transaction to solve our problem. Now again I have T1 and T2, and this has WA and RA. That means my newest transaction is executing first and my oldest transaction is executing late. Okay, so uh, for this I'm talking about my first, like suppose my first rule, transaction T1 issues a read A operation. Okay, WTSA means WTSA was 200. 200 is greater than 100. Yes, then roll back. How I'm actually see when I'm saying this WTSA is this 200. 200 is greater than 200 is greater than this 100, so rollback transaction T1. So this is causing my dirty read problem because it has wrote some problem, but this problem is not valid because of this issue. Again T1 and T2, there will be the same issue. Okay, so this transaction will be rollbacked again. Like see, now we are going to actually solve one problem, one numerical problem, which will actually tell us about the timestamp based protocol and how we are going to execute it. So suppose we have three transactions T1, T2 and T3. This is the values which are given to each and every transaction, and how these operations are working. Firstly RA, then RB, then WC, then RB, then this RC, this WB and this WA. So we need to maintain this table in which we have how many variables are there are three variables a, b and c. So I have simply written a, b, c and this RTS and WTS. And in the initial case we haven't executed any of our transactions, so the clock will be set as 0. So all of these has the value of 00000. Okay, so for the first step, what transaction will execute? T1 will execute. T1 is executing my read A operation. So T1 read A. So reads conflict is right. Okay, but this is my oldest transaction, so I won't be considering this. So according to the rule 1, I'm going to write here, according to the rule 1, see, transaction T1 issues a read A operation if WTS is greater than TSTI, then rollback TI. Okay, so now what was my rule? My rule was WTSA is greater than TSTI. Okay, so what is my WTS now? My WTS is, what is WTS? 0. 0 is greater than TS of TI. What was my timestamp of T1? My stamp of T as I will be 1 because I am talking about transaction 1. So 0 is greater than 100? No, it is false. So if it is false, then again what we are going to do, we are going to do this step B, otherwise execute RA operation. Okay, we have executed this. Then set RTSA is equal to max of RTSA and TSTI. Okay, this set RTSA is equal to max of, what was the value of RTSA? RTSA's value was 0, and what was the value of TST1? It was 100. So what is the maximum value out of these two? 100 is the maximum value. So I'm going to set this RTSA as 100. This RTSA now will get updated and we will get values like in this order: RTS, WTS, and here I have updated this value as 100. Okay, now after this R read B will execute. Okay, this read B will execute it. So for transaction T2, okay, WTS, see, rule 1, WTS, I have simply replaced A with the variable B. WTS B is greater than TS T2. WTS B is greater than TS T2. What is the value of WTS B? This is 0. 0 is greater than 200. No, this is false. Then set RTS B is equal to maximum RTS B TS T1. So RTS B is 0 and this is 200. What is the greatest value? 200. Okay, so I'm simply going to replace this RTS values as 200. So this will get updated. Okay, now what will be the step 3? After executing this and this, we will pursue towards this. So T1 WC, okay, T1 WC. So this is write rule. So like see, for transaction TI issues write operation. Yes, this is transaction T1 is issuing write C operation. Now here this was for the case for variable A. So I am simply replacing this A with C. If RTS C, for the write, we know that we have two conflicts, that is one is read conflict and the other is write conflict. For RTS A greater than TS T1. Okay, so what is the value of RTS C? RTS C is greater than TS T1. What is the value of RTS C? We have value as 0. What was the transaction T1's timestamp? That was 100. So 0 is greater than 100. No, this is false. Okay, so again we will check R for our B. What is this B is saying? If WTS C is greater than TS T1. Okay, what is the value of WTS A? WTS C's value is 0 greater than TS T1. 0 greater than TS A's value was 100. So if 0 is greater than 100, no, this is not. So, and then we are going to pursue towards our step C. Okay, so this is C. Otherwise, execute write C operation. Set WTS C is equal to TS T1. Okay, so set WTS C is equal to TS T1. So this WTC will get updated. WTS C will have a value as 10 because this TS T1 has the value of as 100. So what will be the further execution of operation? We have executed this, we have executed this, we have executed this. Now we are executing this RB. So this was my T3's operation, T3 RB. So what this RB is saying, if this WTS B will be greater than TS T3, what is the value of this WTS B? WTS B has a value as 0. 0 is greater than 300. No, false. Then we will pursue towards RTS B, maximum of RTS B, comma TS T3. So what was the value of RTS B? RTS value B's value is 200 and the T3's was timestamp as 300. So what is the maximum value? 300. So RTS B will 300. Earlier it was 200, so I am going to change this value from 200 to 300 because it has the maximum value 300. So now this table will get updated. Now this 200 is 300. So we have now we have executed up to this. Now this is RC. Okay, this RC is of transaction T1 RC. This WTC, if WTC according to the rule 1, if write TS C is greater than TS T1, so this WTS C has value 100 and this TS T1 has a value is 100. So if 100 is greater than 100, no, as 100 is equal to 100. So we are just going to check the value for the if it is greater than or not. So this is not greater as this is the equal, so we can say that this is false. So set RTS C is equal to maximum RTS C comma TS T1. So this has the value RTS C has the value C. RTS C has the value as 0 till now. So 0 comma 100. So what is the maximum value out of this? This is 100. So we are going to replace RTS C's value as 100 now. Again, which operation will executed now? We have executed till here. So this operation will walk on. So this is T2's WB. What was the operation for this? We are using rule 2. RTS B is greater than TS T2. Okay. So this RTS B is greater than TS T2. RTS B's value was 300. Yes. And is greater than TS T2. T2's value was 200 as it was given already. So is 300 is greater than 200? Yes, true. Then rollback transaction. That means we are going to roll back our transaction T2. Okay. So this transaction will not perform further, and this will be rollback. Okay. So after this we have operation this WA. So for this WA T3 WA we have for right we have two conflicts, so we are going to perform these two operations. So for according to the A part of say rule 2, if RTS A is greater than TS T3, so what is the value of RTS A? RTS A's value is 100. 100 is greater than 300? No, false. For step B, WTS A is greater than TS T3. WTS A's value is 0. Is 0 is greater than 300? False. Then set WTS A is equal to TS T3 according to the step C of rule 2. Okay. So I'm going to set WTS A is equal to TS T3. So this WTS A will get the value of TS T3. What was the value of this? This has a value as 300. So I've simply replaced this WTS A from 0 to 300. So by far we have discussed about timestamp based protocols. What we discussed that this has just a timestamp which will tell us that which transaction is the newest and which transaction is the oldest, and according to that transaction this timestamp will consider that the oldest transaction has the highest priority, and we have solved our problem according to the specific two rules, and we are going to simply maintain this sort of table by using that operation, and we will get to know about that which transaction will be rollbacked, the transaction which is operating on the operations like which we're talking about the conflicts. So when that conflict will occur, the transaction will get rollback, and at the end our database will always remain in the consistent state. So here we are going to end our lecture. Thank you so much.